Good morning. Welcome back. For those of you that don't know, I'm Patrick, and this is the Wilder Henson Adventures. Well, today I'm here at my shop, if you want to call it that, my tiny garage. Matt's working, so I'm not out there. That being said, if you haven't guessed it by the thumbnail or the title, whatever he puts, I'm installing a new bumper. It's sitting right over there. We're going to take a look at it here in a second. So, again, if you guys don't know, me and Matt both got us new front bumpers with built-in winch plates. And we're going to attempt to put this in. I don't know why I said attempt. We're going to put it in. And see how it fits and looks and make sure it's what we want and like. I have the Red Rock, I believe it's the Attack front bumper. I'll make sure Matt has it correct and puts it down there at the bottom of the screen. So let me show you what it is and what I like so far, and we'll go from there. So here's the bumper. Nice stubby. There is the optional, I call them a bull bar, you call them whatever you want. Got some more shackles because, well, I guess you can never have enough. Some foam pads for when you put on the bull bar. Some block off plates if you don't, I guess. I haven't read the instructions. We're going to do it all together. Some hardware. Some bracketry. Some more hardware. A book of all of their stuff, some instructions, and I know you can't read it because I can barely read it in person, but a 5 horsepower sticker. And that's all you get. I mean, I guess it's a minimalist bumper, so minimalist stuff, right? So let me bring you around here to the front of the truck. I apologize for the sunlight. I'm sure it's going to be horrible today, but it's rained for the past 2 weeks here, so we ain't complaining. Those of you that have seen my truck before, here it is again. I've been running the Mopar steel bumper since day one. I took the winglets off and made a stubby because I've never had a stubby. I wanted to see how I liked it. I am running the Badlands Apex 12,000 winch. I've removed all the stuff that you guys probably won't have, my snorkel setup and whatnot, because as you might imagine, I have to remove my winch in order to put it on the new bumper, and I have everything hidden and tidy-ish underneath, so I had to take a bunch of stuff apart in order to get out my cables. That being said, I have the skid plate underneath, so I've got like 6 or 8 13mm bolts under there I got to undo. I have 4 18mm bolts or nuts rather, that look just like that right there. You got 2 on the inside, 2 on the outside of each frame rail. You have that electrical plug right there for your fog lights. Hopefully we can reuse the factory fog lights. It hasn't worked for anybody. Well, on Matt's, he couldn't use them. Maybe my bumper would be different. I don't know. I'm not overly concerned about it, but we're going to try it anyway. But with all that stuff undone, it will come off, and then we can start putting the other one on. I have no tripod, and I have nobody to hold a camera. So I'm going to take it all off and get it sitting on the ground, and then I'll come back and we'll start looking at putting on this new Red Rock stubby bumper. All right guys, so I've got everything disassembled. I'm going to show you the mess I've made. Please keep in mind, I'm doing other things other than putting this bumper on, so it's not going to look like this for you necessarily. I am replacing the aftermarket grill back with the factory grill, so that's why that's going to be missing. She's naked, or he's naked, I guess. I got the old grill that I'd put on over there. There's my skid plate, my old winch plate, and the bumper. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like with all the work that's been done, we deserve a sneak peek. So I'm gonna go get the bumper and just set it on, just so we can see what it's gonna look like, because I got a feeling it's gonna be dead sexy, but we won't know till we look. So let me set that up there and I'll give you guys a peek. All right, it's just sitting on there. I got a clamp holding the bull bar, but that's what she looks like. All right, and that's cool, but I think I like that better. I'm not sure. Okay, yep, that's pushed up tight. I don't know, what do you guys think? With or without the bull bar? For sure, if I go without, I can mount some of my lights on these corners. And I think that'd be cool. Because I've got my ditch lights here that need to go back on. And if I put the bull bar on, I gotta mount them high. I'm not sure how I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna put it together in both directions and for sure see the one that I like best. But as of right this second, my brain is screaming no bull bar. There we go. But I don't know. Y'all let me know. I think I'm gonna put up a poll or something on the shorts. So by the time you see this, it'll probably be too late. My bad. All right, I gotta figure out what the next steps are and then we'll take off from there. All right, I think I'm finally done taking most everything apart. I still have to check and see if my fog lights off the factory bumper will fit, but I'm not holding out hope, so I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna do the things I can do today. So the first thing we're gonna do that we can do, more than likely you have a winch if you have this bumper, or you're planning on putting one on. We've showed how to do this a million times, it seems like. I know it really hasn't been that many, but here's the Fairlead from my Badlands Apex winch. It's gonna sit right there and look real nice. Washer and nut on the back. All right, on this Fairlead, it's a 19 and a Big O Allen. It says on here it's a HW10, whatever that size is. I know it's not very good for helping to have the right tools, but yep, that's tight. Tight like a tiger. Anywho, I'm gonna go get the bull bar. I want to see it with the Fairlead. Maybe it's gonna change my mind. We'll see. So let me grab that real quick. Okay. Oh, back at the bull bar. I'm just not digging it, guys. I'm sorry for those of you that like it. I just don't see it. I think we're gonna run it without. I seriously need something to hold this thing, because we got to put that Badlands winch on it. I don't know if you can see it. This one right here. We're going to put it back on. Ooh, that hurts. All right, let me hunt around and see if I can find something to hold this thing up. I'm tired of doing this number. And then we'll get to mounting some stuff to it. All right, I got it precariously thrown up here. I'm waiting on my stock grill to get here. It won't be here till tomorrow, so I don't want to put the winch on just yet, because I got to make sure that it's going to clear the grill. Yeah, I got to make sure it's going to clear the grill with it put on beforehand. Otherwise, you'd put your winch on now and then put it all on there. We'll come back to that. What I am going to do is I'm going to put my ditch lights on. So on top here, I've got the 3 holes there for the bull bar. I got 3 holes there. I think I'm going to put it in the front one. So I got it up here. Looking at it, it kind of looks straight. I think that's what I'm going to go for right now. I can always change it later. So give me a couple wrenches. There we go. Now it's on there. I'll leave that loose so I can adjust it. Now I'll do the other side. And I'll bring you back and show you when it's done. Alright guys, I don't know if this will affect you or not, but it's affecting me. This opening here, as you can see, I took this back off. I could see this metal stuck out further than my opening for my Fairlead, which means my cable or my synthetic line is going to rub and it's going to tear it and wear it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a finger grinder or sander, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to waller that out a little bigger to where it sits back behind this opening to prevent any undue wear on my winch line. You may have to do it, you may not. Your Fairlead may be different or smaller, whatever. It's just something I ran into, so it's good to know. And I'll show you when I get it done. All right, I got it enlarged. I threw a little bit of black matte paint on it so it won't rust. It looks a whole lot better. Still not perfect, so I did bevel the edges in order to help facilitate it going around it and not tearing. Oops, I forgot my lock washer. If it does, that will suck, especially because, well, it's going to break in the middle of a winch. But I'm going to try it. I think it's good enough. If it's not, when I replace the winch line, I'll fix it. There ain't much else I can do, I guess. I mean, I guess technically I could spend more time, but I don't really have the tools for it here. And it has been a pain to get this far. All right, guys, there it is. And I think that's going to do it for tonight until I get the grill. Once I get the grill, I can set this up there, look and see how much room I got, and put it on. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, it is a new day, and everything I think we need is here now. I've already went ahead and put the stock grill back on. It looks so much better. So now it's time for the bumper. I think we're going to carry this heavy thing out there, set it in place, carry the heavy winch out there, set it in place, and see if it can all go on as one or what I got to do. I should be able to put it on, put the bumper on and then put the winch on, but I want to make sure. So let me do that, and we'll know our order of operations and then get busy putting this thing back on, or putting it on. All right, guys, I made a boo-boo. I went out, I mocked up the bumper and the winch, and company stopped by. We got to talking, and while we were standing outside talking, I lost my brain and put the bumper on and the winch on, and everything's buttoned back up. That being said, when you take your old bumper off, it has 4 studs that go through the frame horn. This bumper had 2, and then you put in 2 bolts on each side. It's an M6 bolt, I think. a lock washer and a flat washer for each one. You tighten the whole bumper down to 40 foot-pounds. And if you want to see how to install a winch and whatnot, we have a video for that, so you can go check that out. So I apologize. I just got wrapped up and wasn't thinking about the camera. However, it looks awesome, so let me walk you out here and show you what we got. Y'all ready? Woo! Look at that. Look at that, look at that. Look at all that extra clearance for the tire. I put my, as you guys seen, the fog lights are on there. Now, no, the bull bar is not on there. I released the short this morning. I don't know when this is going to come out, but I had 1,200 views in like 38 minutes, and I had one comment. They said put the bull bar on. That happened to be you, Roy. We got it up here, or he come down, checked it out, and he didn't like it either, so he sided with me. But if more of y'all like the idea of the bull bar, I will bolt it up and show you what it looks like, and we can have a debate then. But as for right now, in this weekend, I'm going to be running it like this. Now, I will tell you, if you have the forward-facing camera and you're running the Apex winch, you're going to be able to see the top of it. You lose about 1.5 feet of your up-close view, which kind of sucks, but if you've had it on the whole time you're wheeling or whatever, you should already know what's coming. Maybe, you know, in my opinion, you should be able to tell about when you're going to hit said obstacle from watching it come up to you. But it will still help for when you're cresting hills and whatnot to see what's on the other side. It'll also help you see if you're going to, you know, bump into that car in front of you in the parking lot. Bugs. It's that time of year. That being said, you don't lose enough for it to be a concern. So I wouldn't not buy this bumper and winch combination strictly because it's going to block your camera. Now, if you run the bull bar, you're going to have even more stuff in your line of sight, and I really think you're going to lose your camera. But we'll cross that bridge if we come to it. That being said, guys, I appreciate you putting up with me again. Remember, do us a favor, like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you guys in the next one.